Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In this video we'll be looking at Mismagius Garbodor deck for the standard format, and this is one very interesting deck that can be used in the standard format, and I kind of like it. Mismagius is a small, Chaos Wheel attacker and also Dark Arts attacker. I mean, Chaos Wheel is a very interesting attack. Maybe it's not super effective and good in the current meta, but who knows, maybe in the future this card will be actually very good. Chaos Wheel for 1 energy will allow you to hit for 30, and your opponent will not be able to play Tool, Special Energy, or Stadium cards from their hand. Imagine Mismagius versus Zora variants of the deck. They're just not going to be able to do nothing. The problem is that you're not going to be also in a position to hit for a lot, with a choice bet potentially for like a 40, but even that is not, bad. I mean, if you combine this deck with Garbodor, then in the early game you can do a lot of mess to your opponent, especially because if you're gonna force him to discard those tool cards and special energies, you're gonna be in a position to use Trash Lunge for a lot of damage in the late game, so that's a very important thing. And also a good thing about this deck is that you're just gonna trade 1 prize for 2 prize cards if you're gonna play against EX or GXs. Now, also good thing is that we can prevent our opponent from being able to play Tool, Special Energy, Stadium cards. With the Garbodor Trash Lunge, we're also gonna force our opponent not to play item cards, and obviously with the Garbotoxin we can even shut down their abilities. And that's insane. So what they can do, pretty much nothing. Attach regular basic energy and play support a card. I'm not sure how they're gonna be able to do anything, but anyways, I'm also playing 2 copies of Tapu Lele for the setup, and that's pretty much it. So moving on to the item cards, I'm running 1 copy of Field Blower. 2 should be pretty good, especially for the Trash Lunge, but if our opponent will not be able to play tool cards, why should we play more than 1 Field Blower? Think twice about it. 4 copies of Mysterious Treasure, discard energy or any card from your hand, search your deck for a Psychic Pokemon. Makes a lot of sense with this build, especially because we don't want to waste 2 cards play for the Ultra Ball, but there are also 2 copies of Ultra Ball, just in case, so we can have much greater chance to pull Tapu Lele turn 1 for the setup, or maybe greater chance to pull whatever we need with the Ultra Ball at the specific time of the game. 1 of each Rescue Stretcher and Super Road for the energy recycle, 1 copy of the Parallel City, so we can either way discard our Tapu Leles from the bench, so we can still have 1 for 2 prize exchange, or force our opponent to have not more than 3 Pokemons on the bench, which might also be important. For the setup, I'm running 2 copies of Brigette, and then, as usual, 3 Cynthias, Guzma, and Professor Sycamore, but I also decided to deck 2 copies of Team Rocket Handiworks, so with them we can potentially knock up to 4 cards per play from our opponent top deck in a discard pile, and which can potentially just grow up and power up that Trash Lunge, depend on how many item cards we're going to be able to find. 3 of each choice band and float stones, and 11 energies, 4, 7 DCE and regular basic energy cards. I kind of like this deck, so you're gonna definitely like it if you try it. Make sure to check also ccgcast.com if you're looking to purchase any of these cards. And yeah, let's do some game test so you can actually see how this deck works in action. So see you in the game. Alright, so let's do this, shall we? Let's see who's gonna start first. And it looks like I'm gonna open this game by going second. At least I can confuse my opponent Pokemon, theoretically, at my turn 1. Or I can strike him with the Icy Spray. We shall see. So far, no sign of the basic Pokemon available for my opponent, and looks like I'm gonna play against Greninja. Alright, I mean, it's not that I can't tech something like Giratina in my build, but I just didn't, But it's definitely possible tech, just in case if you're gonna play with this deck. Oh, I can draw 4 extra cards, that's amazing, and I managed to get Float Stone as well. I think in the early stage of the game is going to be much more important to strike with that Mismagius, who can use that Dark cards and simply hit for 20 times the amount of the cards in my opponent's hand. For the late game, we're gonna focus definitely on that Garbodor as well, but so far there's not too many cards in my opponent's hand, only 2 of them. And that's the Ultra Ball for second Froakie. And 1 Tapu Lele has also been discarded. Alright, I'm gonna go with the Brigette. We'll try to set up my Garbodor lineup as fast as possible. But more than that, well, he played 2 item cards. We're gonna strike him with the Acid Spray, just for now. And then we're gonna see what's gonna be possible to do basically next turn. The good thing is that I already managed to force my opponent to play a couple item cards. So right now he have like 3 item cards available, and there's a Frogadier, you know, with the Splash Energy and Water Duplicate for 3 more frogs. There we go, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go with Mismagius. We're gonna go also with the Garbodor play. The second thing I'm gonna do is gonna be 1 Ultra Ball, obviously for 1 copy of the Energy and Mismagius. I'm gonna keep this Misdreavus on the bench just from the one reason, and that's because I can use Confuse Ray and maybe potentially confuse my opponent in some stage of the game. And I'm gonna play that Cynthia. So there is enough item cards for that Frogadier to be knocked out. What if I can hit him with the second attack so he cannot recover the Frogadier back to his hand? Let's see, Acid Spray. Maybe if I hit heads, but unfortunately I didn't. So I waste my DCE, but never mind for that. So there's a Brigette play for me. I don't need Brigette anymore. I managed to successfully set up at my turn 1, so there's another Froakie. The good thing is that I have definitely my Garbodor in play. So as long as I have Garbodor, I don't need to worry too much, because it's going to be an important piece of puzzle to prevent my opponent and Greninjas and Greninja GXs from being able to spread some damage around the board. So that's a very important thing. And I see 3 item cards in my opponent's discard pile as well. There's not too many things that I need to do. I already have a 1 prize advantage, and next turn I'm taking 1 prize for sure with my Trash Lenge, or maybe not. I mean, the Acid Spray potentially can go for 70, which will be enough and should be enough for the knock against one of my opponent Frogadiers, or maybe against Staryu or Froakie, it really depends. But I'm definitely happy with the hand. I also have Mysterious Treasure available for another Garbodor if I want, but I think I'm just gonna grab myself something like another Trubbish and put him in play. If that's gonna be the case, you know. Let's see. Unfortunately, I don't have another Trubbish available, so I'm gonna grab actually another Mismagius. Who cares? Let's go with it. I wish Chaos Wheel can do more than 20, actually 30, but it can't. But still, I'm gonna attach energy to my Mismagius and play Cynthia. I'm going with another Trash Lenge hard. That's for sure. I'm gonna keep actually my Field Blower in my hand. I think it's not worth to discard only 1 tool, because I can potentially discard 2 of them. And there's another Misdreavus, alright. Still only 3 item cards in his discard pile, so I'm definitely good because I already have 2 prize advantage, and that's a very important thing. When you have 2 prize over your opponent in a 1 prize matchup, you're definitely in a good position, you know. Waiting to see what my opponent can play next. Will he... No, so he decided to concede. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so I'm starting potentially second, and oh, wish there was a basic Pokemon available in my opening hand just because of the Brigette, but it was not. Anyways, oh, that would be a nice opening hand, especially with the Misdreavus in the front for that confusion potentially. But I need to refresh my hand and draw 6 new cards. So there's a Trubbish. Okay, not that good, but it could be even worse, so I'm not gonna complain too much. At least I have one Mysterious Treasure, can potentially bring me a Brigette setup. I'm gonna play against... oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be turn 1 Brigette setup, no doubt about that. Just by looking at my opponent, hand looks like he don't have draw support available, so I'm gonna go with the Tapu Lele. And I'm gonna grab myself a Brigette. So with the Brigette, I can set up 3 Pokemons in play. Unfortunately, in this matchup, Misdreavus is not gonna be super effective. That's one big problem. Also, another big problem is the fact that I can simply use Acid Spray for 0 because he have resistance -20. So there are 2 different problems right now for me. But okay, there's a rare candy as well for the Metagross. And a Cynthia play. I think how I potentially maybe did a bad decision, bad call, because I didn't go with my Misdreavus. Yeah, I should better accelerate him instead of my... nah, but never mind. I can easily do that right now, anyways. So we're gonna put Mismagius in play, and we're gonna go with 1 copy of the N. And I'm hoping at least to maybe use Chaos Wheel if it's possible, and I think it will be possible. But what is more important here for me, obviously, somehow to get that Garbodor in play with Garbotoxin, so I can basically lock my opponent from being able to retreat. I know it's gonna cost a lot. I mean, it's definitely gonna cost a lot, especially if you don't have... I mean, I'm losing Trubbish with 1 energy card, so that was my mistake. But at least I can Chaos Wheel for 10 and prevent my opponent from being able to, you know, play special energy tool cards or stadium cards from his hand. So there is no way that he can retreat that Solgaleo under the ability lock, which might bring me some time to, you know, get those Team Rocket handiworks in place, so I can potentially start to knock off my opponent cards from the top of his deck. And there is another item card, but unfortunately one of them for the Solgaleo. And the question is, will my opponent somehow be able to get that Solgaleo in play? So there's another round of the Cynthia, which means only one thing: next turn Dark Arts can go for like 100. So he played another Ultra Ball, and right now I can start to count those item cards. And there's like 4 item cards in my opponent discard pile so far, which is a good thing. That's already 8 damage counters that can be done with my Trash Lens. So definitely good. Let's see. Dark Arts not gonna be super effective, which only means one thing. Oh, very tough to decide, to be honest. Very hard to decide what's gonna be the smartest option to do. Still, I'm gonna just go with a Trubbish on the bench. Really want to put army of the Trubbishes in play, especially later Garbodors. 5 item cards. Let's go with a DCE to Tapu Lele. Still, I feel how Chaos Wheel is much stronger and better attack anyways. Garbodor will definitely not see play for now. There's gonna be another Chaos Wheel play. Only for 10, but hey. It's enough. Just because he cannot activate the Float Stone even if he had one in his hand. And on the other side, the reason why I didn't want to put my Trash Lunch Garbodor in play is the fact that my opponent can simply Guzma that Garbodor out and knock him out. But his biggest threat definitely is this Garbodor with the Garbotoxin. Because right now, he's in a huge disadvantage. And I'm still wondering where in the world are my Team Rocket Handiworks. I just need to get one of them. Alright, so right now it's my turn, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna put some pressure to my opponent with my Tapu Lele. And it's a heavy pressure, that's like 80 damage counters, 150 actually, so I'm trying to set the knockout against this Solgaleo next turn with my Garbodor, maybe potentially with my Mismagius, we shall see. Basically with 5 item cards I can go for 100 plus 30, 130, minus 20, well it should be enough. It should be enough, even with the resistance. So he have opportunity to use to use Sunsteel Strike maybe, or Soul Burst, and that was the Ultra Ball for the Metagross. And looks like he might have Rare Candy available in his hand. Oh yes, he does. Okay, and he cannot retreat, which only means one thing: this Solgaleo should be knocked out next turn. And he definitely wants to use Soul Burst. Well, at least with this Soul Burst he can power up those Metagross GXs. I know it's not going to be easy to one-hit knock them out, but at least double-hit knockout should work fine. All 4 Ultra Balls has been played, plus 3 Rare Candies and 1 Researcher. That's like 8 item cards. That's 160 base damage for my Trash Lunch at this moment. Alright, with that being said, I'm gonna hit with another round of the Energy Drive, and that Energy Drive will give me the 2 prize advantage over my opponent, Cynthia, and another round of the Cynthia, so double Cynthia prized. Wow, that's very nice. I hope that my opponent will somehow manage to get a top deck. He definitely needs one. 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 140, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 140, 170, 210. Well, I can go for like 200 and something, which is not good. It's not enough. I mean, definitely it is good, but it's not enough. Let's do something like this, and let's go with the Cynthia. Another round of the Float Stone. How many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anything new? Meanwhile, nothing. The good thing is that he can't attack with this active Metagross right now, which potentially give me the space to strike once again with my Energy Drive and then simply finish the knockout with my Garbodor Trash Lunch. Well, there's a Pulpet top deck, but obviously not that good top deck as my opponent would like to get. Still 1 copy of the N, and something like a Field Blower can simply bring my opponent in the action. but again he decided to concede, so let's move on to one more game. Alright, so I'm gonna start first, so let's take a look at the opening hand, what we can get. Oh, very nice opening hand. There's one Misdreavus featuring Brigette, as well as a Mysterious Treasure. I kinda like the opening hand, especially if I can maybe find one more basic Pokemon. Then I can even consider trying to using that Team Rocket handiwork at my turn 1. But to be honest, I'm not sure how smart that would be. Alright, another Misdreavus. I can definitely... Ooh, and the Trubbish. I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that in the early stage of the game. So, I'm gonna take the gamble and see how many cards I can potentially knock from my opponent deck. Turn 2 can potentially be a big one, because I have that Garbodor and Mismagius available. So let's try to flip heads on the Team Rocket handiwork. Hopefully at least one of 2 heads can be done. Alright, at least. Ooh, 2 item cards, Super Rod and Float Stone. Sweet. So far so good. I'm kinda happy with this turn. So for the next turn I have Mismagius available, and I can Chaos Wheel my opponent, but I think it's not gonna be super effective. Dark Arts is the way to go. Especially if he's gonna have like 6 cards in his hand. That's gonna be like 120 damage attack, which is just insane. And if I can find even also something like I don't know, if I can find something like let it be Choice Band, then I can even increase more damage. Something like a Shining Celebi would be nice in this build, just because then you can also with Mismagius use Confuse Ray. But I'm not playing that card. Also, he can invade if he wants. But without Float Stone, that's not gonna be super smart to do. I mean, actually, it's still smarter to do that somehow, I think. Oh, there's a Max Elixir play. Okay, I like those type of the decks that can use Max Elixirs and that can also use advantage of the... Ooh, double Max Elixir play. Don't tell me that this is actually gonna happen. Oh, so he... could potentially maybe knocks my Misdreavus out, but he didn't. 4 item cards. Well, he had opportunity to knock me out maybe with the Float Stone, but he didn't have Float Stone. Well, that can change things dramatically. Well, speaking about Float Stone, I managed to get one. And I also have the Chaos Wheel available. Alright, another Trubbish. And another Mismagius. I can hit for like a 60, but I don't think this is smart enough to do. And my opponent is just, you know, he just decided to concede the game. I don't know what is going on, but I simply cannot record this video if everyone is gonna go just to concede. Alright, so how good this deck will be, we shall see. Starting second, and my opening hand is just a single Trubbish. But the good thing is that I also have my Ultra Ball available. So I can even start applying some pressure with my Tapu Lele at my turn 1. And how the things looks right now, I don't even think how this might be a bad decision to do. So let's go with the Ultra Ball. We can get rid of that Garbodor. Actually, we can do that. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna definitely go for the Brigette, just because I need Mismagius turn 2 for that very important play, which is gonna be obviously Chaos Wheel, and versus my opponent's Zoroark deck. That's gonna be simply big nightmare. And before I even do something else, I'm gonna definitely retreat onto my Tapu Lele, who can start applying some pressure with the energy drive to this poor Zorua in the active position. So it's gonna be 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards. We all know how Zoroark potentially can be strong, but we also know the big weakness of the Zoroark decks. They can simply be in a huge disadvantage because of the high amount of the cards that they can have in their hands. So there is the first trade and first item card in my opponent's discard pile. So one fighting energy has just been discarded. Alright, Baby Buzz, and anything else? I mean, if he decides to attach DCE to Zoroark, I can already hit for 80, so that's definitely not something you want to do. And there we go with the N. I'm actually happy to see N play from my opponent's side of the field. Alright, Team Rocket Handiwork, kinda like that play as well. I think I'm gonna probably go with the Team Rocket Handiwork, just because I have my... oh, I lost my double course energy. And there's also a Float Stone play, so will he decide to strike with the Sledgehammer for 50? It looks like he will do that. But this only leads me in a much better position, you know, because I can use my Trash Lance Garbodor and I can hit for hard. I can hit for a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 item cards. That's 160 damage. So I should have enough. I just need to get what I need. Alright. One Garbodor. I don't have anything. Oh, actually I have Super Rod available, so I'm gonna definitely recycle my Garbodor. That's gonna be Cynthia play, and with the Cynthia play I'm gonna get another Trubbish. Also that Mysterious Treasure, which is gonna be important. I'm gonna discard my Guzma. I want to keep that Ultra Ball available. So Trash Lance can bring me the knockout, but I'm also risking to be knocked out in the return KO from my opponent's side, because Garbodor is a 120 HP Pokemon and it can easily be knocked out, especially from the Zoroark, as long as he have like 6 Pokemons in play. Oh, there's a nice card that I managed to get, which is a Parallel City. I can limit my opponent bench space down to 3, or I can remove from play my Tapu Lele. I think I'm gonna just force my opponent down to 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 item cards. All right. Nice Stranger for another round of the puzzle. Or maybe better for the Zoroark, especially because you can have that additional draw support with the trade. So there it is. Trade play from my opponent. I wish I have option to simply surprise him with my Misdreavus or my Mismagius, but unfortunately I don't have. So there's another round of the trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, nearly 200 damage plus can be done with my Mismagius with the Choice Band, which is just insane. So he's trying to discard a lot of special energy cards, and there's still no sign of the DCE as well. And one energy attached to Rock Roof. So it's my turn. Oof, very interesting. Shall we go with something like this? Well, I'm gonna definitely limit my opponent's bench space to only 3 Pokemons. And I'm gonna hit with another Trash Lance. This time it's gonna be for like 130. Wow, did he actually discard a lot more item cards? Yes, he did. 3, 6, 6 item cards. Well, that's 120 base for the trash lunch. Not that bad, right? Okay, there's another trade. If he can knocks me out, I can potentially respond back with my Chaos Wheel, but the problem is the resistance. I'm not gonna have enough for the knockout, unfortunately, which actually consider me a lot, but still, I think I'm in a much better position. I have one prize advantage over my opponent, plus I have a lot of one-hit attackers versus a lot of two prize attackers, you know, and that's a very important thing. But top decking something like a double course energy can also be potentially a good thing. And there's another concede, so yeah, everybody just conceding. I don't know why. It might be just, you know, Misdreavus curse, but it is how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit a thumbs up and sub the channel for more videos. Unfortunately, I was not able to record a normal game for this deck, but you should definitely try it by your own and see will it work for you. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.